Now, when you kill and you plunder a people, you have to do two things, ideologically and psychologically speaking. You have to deny the humanity of your victims. They're subhuman, they're moral inferiors. The second thing you do is you ascribe all your crimes to them. You deny your own inhumanity and you accuse your victims of doing to you what you are doing to them. And that, by the way, is what you are seeing every night in the evening news, a variation of that on the reports from El Salvador too. Now, the trouble with that paradigm is that it turns history on its head. It reverses the roles of victim and victimizer. It reverses the roles of usurper and usurped. It reverses the roles of murderer and murdered. If you really want to know the killing and the bloodlusting, just read. Just read what the Germans did in Southwest Africa. 80,000 Herero tribe. Cut down 60,000 of the 80,000 killed, and the other 20,000 put into slave labor. Just read what the British did just about everywhere else, from Ireland to India. Just read what the French did in Algiers and Indochina. Just read what the Portuguese did in Mozambique and Angola. Just read what the Spaniards did in Latin America. Just read what the U.S. did in Central America. The pacification by U.S. Marines in Haiti. The killings and the slaughter in the Philippines. Whole villages, men, women, and children put up on the rails of bridges and shot down until rivers were clogged with bodies, done by U.S. troops to pacify whole provinces. Just read about the killings. Just read about what the Italians did in Libya. Read about all that. And by the way, when I say these people, the French, the Americans, the Germans, whatever else, I don't mean the ordinary people in the country. They were the ones conscripted and brought in to do this killing for the ruling interests of that country. There's no movies about that. I was raised on the movies that said the opposite.
Here are the 6 chocolate brands that are starting to use lab-grown cocoa. Number 1, Cadbury invested $4.6 million into a lab-grown cocoa company. Number 2, Kit Kat invested $44 million into a lab-grown cocoa company. Number 3, Lindt invested $5.6 million into a lab-grown cocoa company. Number 4, Kinder invested $15 million into a lab-grown cocoa company. Number 5, Snickers has a budget of $2 billion to invest into lab-grown chocolate. And finally, number 6, M&M's has a budget of $1.4 billion to invest into lab-grown cocoa startups. Make sure to read the ingredients and avoid terms like chocolate flavoring or cocoa compounds.
Doctors will say, well, we have a form that doesn't have a preservative. It's preservative-free, but that doesn't mean it's safe. The second ingredient is polysorbate 80, and there's 10 milligrams of it. Polysorbate 80 is used in research studies, in cancer research, particularly for brain cancer drugs, because they can pair it with the drug. And because polysorbate 80 opens up the blood-brain barrier, then it helps the drug get into the brain. It does the same thing when you give it to babies. It opens up the blood-brain barrier. And then right after that, they come along and they give the hepatitis B vaccine with 250 micrograms of aluminum. And the aluminum has access to the brain immediately because of the polysorbate 80 in the vitamin K shot. Another issue with polysorbate 80, in 2016, issued a statement of concern about Gardasil, because the Gardasil injections at that time contained 50 micrograms of polysorbate 80. And there is concern about polysorbate 80 causing premature ovarian failure. It's used in clinical studies to induce infertility. So when you inject the vitamin K shot, the Amphastar has 10 milligrams. So they were concerned about 50 micrograms of polysorbate 80. 10 milligrams is 200 times the amount of 50 micrograms. So that raises the question, is the vitamin K shot a factor in the infertility problems that we're having in young people today?
News. The father's name is Yahuah.
And his son is Yahu-sha.
More to come on the 7 o'clock Good News.
Stay tuned for that. And the law is not done away with. Torah must be obeyed.
If you think your vaccine works for your little kid under 2 years old, what are you worried about if the other kids don't get it? Your kid's safe, no? Well, if he's not safe, then what are you getting a vaccine for? Because the overwhelming evidence is that it works. Well, then what are you worried about? If you still want to stick that needle in your kid, then you're safe, right? If you think your vaccine works for your little kid under 2 years old, what are you worried about if the other kids don't get it? Your kid's safe, no? Well, if he's not safe, then what are you getting a vaccine for? Because the overwhelming evidence is that it works. Well, then what are you worried about? If you still want to stick that needle in your kid, then you're safe, right?
Before Yahuah sends us our husband, we must become the wife. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. You know, sometimes we could be a wife internally, meaning we're ready to have that upright, obedient, scripture-rooted marriage. We're ready to submit to our husbands. We are ready to let him lead and play our role as wife and as homemaker. But we're not quite the wife externally, right? What are some things that you're doing now that you don't want your husband to see? If you were living with him right now, what are some things that you're not doing that you know you should be doing? What you are with you behind closed doors. So do the things for yourself first, so that way when you get together, once you move in with each other, you're not putting up a facade and then slowly as time goes by you just revert to how you used to be. No, we're not putting on a fake front. We are becoming the woman. We're becoming the wife. So, and if you are a single mother, what should you have together now before your husband comes? A lot of times we are so ready to have the husband. We're ready to have, finally a man of Yahuah, after the heart of Yahuah, to be in the lives of our children. But we forget that we need to be stable. Single mothers have a bad rep because oftentimes single mothers in the world, they're just ready to jump into different relationships without having their stuff together, and they want the man to come save them. But we don't need saving. We've already been saved by Yahu-sha. So before we can look for our husbands, we need to, one, become the wife, become the mother that we need to be in Yahuah. We need to have our finances together. We need to have our self together, as nurturing yourself, falling in love with yourself, letting go of all the trauma from the past relationships and your past childhood, just establishing yourself, being secure. And then Yahuah will release our husbands to us. It's a long wait, but it's worth it, because when Yahuah finally aligns us to the man that he created us for, there will be no faking it. And you won't waste your time, because you'll know who it is that is for you. And you won't waste time because you're so desperate, because you haven't healed. You know what I'm saying? Become a wife. When you fall in love with yourself, you won't be seeking your husband to call you beautiful all the time or validating you. You'll already be validated in Yahuah and in yourself. Become the wife.
Welcome every human experience. You never know which one is going to turn it all on. Even the bad experiences. Sometimes from the bitterest experience comes the greatest awakening. So let down the barriers, take down the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Sometimes desire waits and sleeps for something to happen. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a sermon, maybe it's a lecture, a seminar, maybe it's the conversation of a friend, a happening, an event. Who knows what it might be? Some people have done the most incredible things with limited start. Why not you?
If there are crumbs to follow, it means somebody had pie. It's not hard to understand. Rhetoric is applied after observation of substance. It doesn't just pop up overnight or materialize out of thin air. Ask yourself why. Crumbs from that country over in the Middle East are all over the place. Ask yourself why. A letter exists. addressed to Tom Brokaw, filled with anthrax, that says death to America and death to that country from the Middle East. Ask yourself why. If they weren't involved, does the letter exist at all? Ask yourself why Larry Silverstein insisted to up the appraisal. Ask yourself why Larry Silverstein wasn't at work that day. Ask yourself why people at ground level heard explosions before the towers fell. Ask yourself why all evidence could be incinerated, black boxes gone, but passports made of paper could survive. Ask yourself why there are no remnants of a plane at the Pentagon. Ask yourself why Building 7, not hit by a plane at all, fell at nearly free fall speed. Ask yourself why 3 buildings made history that day. Ask yourself why, when the United Nations voted to make food a human right, were America and that country from the Middle East the only ones to vote no. Ask yourself why. Those crumbs from the Middle East lead all the way up to Tyler Robinson.
My point is, if she makes the decision to leave, she should pay for it. If you want to leave, that's totally fine, but you should pay to raise your kid.
Wait for it.
Is it not his child as well?
That's why I said 50-50 custody off the bat, no child support, no alimony.
So she gets to take on all of the child care responsibilities, but he doesn't have to pay anything. He doesn't have to have any buy-in.
I didn't say all, I said 50-50 custody. He should have the kid half the time.
But doesn't have to pay any money towards it.
No, he should pay for the kid when the kid's at his house.
And so the majority of the time when the kid is at the mother's house, he doesn't have to be involved in any way financially?
No, she should pay for it. She has a job. Why should he have to pay for a kid? If she chose to have the kid and she chooses divorce, why should she not have to pay for her own decision? There it is. You want all the freedom to do whatever you want, but you don't want to have to pay for it. If women want to divorce, that's totally fine. They can do that. I think that they should pay for their decision.
Remember when they said none of this was true?
It's rare that I'm speechless. But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door in 76 days, and it just happened to be the time between when President Trump was elected and President Biden, their boss, was leaving. Is that right?
It is correct and distasteful. Confidence undermining.
He's such a defender of the right to bear arms.
I'd give up my gun when everybody else does. Doesn't that make sense? I mean, if there were guns here, would you want to be the only person without one?
Should you carry guns routinely at home? I mean, you have a gun at home?
Yeah, it's legal in the United States. It's part of our Constitution. You know, the right to bear arms is because that's the last form of defense against tyranny. It's to protect yourself from the police.
Do you see any link between that and these sorts of incidents?
Not really. If somebody wants to kill people, you know, they don't need a gun to do it.
Makes it easier though, doesn't it?
Not really. You can drop explosives on your body. They do that all the time.
So when there's the inevitable backlash of the anti-gun lobby as a result of this incident, as there always is...
Well, that's not going to change anything. The United States is based on guns. You'll never have justice on stolen land. So it's not going to change.
Put the thing on so you can hear this.
The girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000 each.
I can justify it.
How?
I'll tell you what, stars don't get paid more money. Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals? No, because you don't care about it. All of you can go and watch W League games in the women's competition here, but you don't. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money. The Men's World Cup is one of the biggest money spinners on the planet. Women's football, even though at grassroots level it's working really, really well, it's got a long way to go. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guy should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
You're saying that you wouldn't be with a single mother that's a millionaire?
It wouldn't be my first option, no.
You said a millionaire wouldn't want to be with a single mother that's a millionaire.
If he can go ahead and get a girl that doesn't have a child, he'll prefer that, yes. Men are very different than women, because when a guy comes into a woman's relationship, or a relationship with a woman and she has a child, he's going to be expected to take care of that child to a degree. You don't just get with that girl, you get with that girl and that child. And here's the other thing you got to remember. If we break up and I build a bond with that child, I now lose you and the child. And I can't have any type of parental rights to that child because it's your biological child, not mine. I'm a stepfather. So I lose you, the child, alimony, house, 50%. So it's an L for me. It's not worth the risk.
Would you sacrifice your family for your happiness, or would you sacrifice your happiness for your family?
If I'm not happy, no.
What about you?
My happiness, because what is life about if we're not trying to be happy?
And what about you?
I've actually been there and done that, and I did choose my happiness, and I'm happy I did.
With all of your answers, this is the reason why women initiate 70 to 80% of the divorces, because you prioritize your happiness over your family. Marriage, to be honest, isn't about happiness. Marriage is about purpose and duty. Happiness is fleeting. It's up and down. Men, we could be unhappy. We act despite how we feel. There's guys that suffer in sexless relationships, sexless marriages, and still stay with that woman.
You have one life to live. Why would you sit there and be miserable?
Because men really love a girl. You just love that man based off how you feel. I think the only thing you do love is your feelings. Men, we don't prioritize the way we feel. We prioritize what's real, and that's family. That's the woman, that's the children.
Professor Peterson, I teach students. I teach trans students, and I'm asked often to call people singularly they. My general feeling has been whatever they ask, just go with it and let's change our usage of the pronouns. But how would you know which students to discount as opposed to which ones to go along with?
Okay, well, first of all, I wouldn't know. But I have to be responsible for what I say based on my willingness to take responsibility for my judgment. So I would be willing to do that despite the fact that I might be wrong. But that's not the issue for me. The issue is now I'm compelled by law to do so. It's like, no, not doing it. Not now, because it's compelled by law.
Surely you have a larger mission than just what's going on in your own head, and I mean that.
No, I had a perfectly straightforward mission, which was there's no damn way I was going to say those words when I was compelled to by law. Because I would say you're allowing attention-seeking and somewhat narcissistic undergraduates to gain the upper hand over you in your class.
Peter, I just want to get one final thought from you. Are there words that are used to describe men that offend you?
Not particularly, and if there are some I don't like, I certainly wouldn't want them banned. But it always goes back to that old adage: sticks and stones may break my bones, but there will always be something to offend a feminist.
Peter
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
No, that's just obnoxious.
Peter Lloyd,
Sorry. You have to give me a
I think
chance
we'll
to
let you
respond to
carry
that.
on this
That is
discussion.
ridiculous.
I don't respect men.
Did you have a father that you respected?
I didn't disrespect my father. He wasn't around.
So stop it there, right? You didn't even have the prime example of what you needed to carry your love for men in your later ages. Your father wasn't there to instill certain traits in you so you will accept a man's love. God's love comes through the Father. So since you don't really know how to experience and digest the Father's love, that means that you don't really know how to experience and take God's love, because that's where the love trickles down from, right? The Father's love is much differently than the mother's love. The mother's love is more of a coddle love. You fall down, you get back up, oh baby, it's okay. You fall down, you get back up, oh baby, it's okay. To the point when you're falling down so much, the Father's like, stop falling.
Right.
What are you doing? But the Father would tell you that the first time.
Right.
Why are you tripping and falling? Get up.
Oh
My God,
my dad did that to me.
The Father's love is a disciplinarian love. God's love is disciplinary.
Dr. Jared Cooney Horvath. I'm a former teacher turned cognitive neuroscientist who focuses on human learning. And I do not receive funding, nor have I ever, from big tech. So a sad fact our generation has to face is this. Our kids are less cognitively capable than we were at their age. Every generation has outperformed their parents, and that's exactly what we want. We want sharper kids. And the reason for this largely has been school. Each generation spends more time in school. We use school to develop our cognition until Gen Z. Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have, from basic attention to memory to literacy to numeracy to executive functioning to even general IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. So why? What happened? What happened around 2010 that decoupled schooling from cognitive development? It can't be school. Schools basically look the same. It can't be biology. This hasn't had enough time to change. The answer appears to be the tools we are using within schools to drive that learning. Across 80 countries, as Jean was just saying, if you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools, performance goes down significantly, to the point where kids who use computers about 5 hours per day in school for learning purposes will score over 2/3 of a standard deviation less than kids who rarely or never touch tech at school. And that's across 80 countries. Bring it home to the US. Let's go to the US. We have our NAEP. That's our big data. Take any state, and here's a fun experiment you can try. Take any state NAEP data, compare that to when that state adopted one-to-one technology widely, and watch what happens. The NAEP data will plateau and then start to drop. Of course, this is all correlative. What we really want is causative. To get causation, what you need is academic research, and you need mechanisms, explanations for why we're seeing what we're seeing. Luckily, we have academic research stretching back to 1962 that shows the exact same story for 60 years. When tech enters education, learning goes down. In fact, because what do kids do on computers? They skim. So rather than determining what do we want our children to do and gearing education towards that, we are redefining education to better suit the tool. That's not progress, that is surrender.
So are you saying that a woman needs to be completely submissive?
Yeah.
What if the man cannot create the environment for a woman to be submissive? I feel like that's the man's role. And if the man can't, make that environment, a woman's not going to be submissive.
Did you already have sex with this man?
Sure, but sex doesn't foster submission.
Well, sex will be the most ultimate form of submission for women. There's not a higher form of submission because in the act of sex, you are submitting your body and your will to this other individual. So if you're already doing the most highest form of submission, why wouldn't you do a lesser form of submitting, which is listening to your man and being in complete compliance to him?
So me and my wife were looking at some old home videos recently of our youngest daughter being born. I'm gonna show you the video. Not her being born, because my wife would be like, you doing what? We got some conflict we need to talk about. So it's a video of our youngest daughter being born. I took this video. The video you're about to watch is a video I took, but I didn't understand the power of it until I watched the video. So let me set it up for you. She's like 2.5 minutes old. Our daughter's 2.5 minutes old at the time. And they got her under that little chicken warmer at the hospital, the little thing to keep the french fries warm. I don't know what kind of insurance we had, but that's what they got her under. And the nurse is about to clean her up, and she starts to cry. I want you to notice what happens when she hears my voice. Okay, Portland, look, I'm right here. It's okay, it's okay. I'm right here, I'm right here. We're doing just fine. It's okay. It's okay, I'm right here. Right here, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, baby. Yo, so that was pretty powerful, right? Now it's like 7.5 minutes or so later. The nurse is done cleaning her up, and she starts to cry again. I speak up, and she stops crying again. But I want you to notice what happens when I tell her I love her. Portland, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. I'm right here. I'm right here. I am right here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay. It's okay. So here's the thing. There's going to be times in life where it feels like you're going from conflict to conflict to conflict. Or maybe you're just full of fear because of all the uncertainties right now. The key thing to do in those moments is to be still and listen for the Father's voice. Be still and listen for the Father's voice, because He is talking to you. And what He wants you to know is that He's right here. He loves you. All you have to do is open your eyes.
Have you ever been with a man that didn't cheat?
Every single relationship has cheated on me.
You're having sex with your man multiple times a week and he's still cheating. I literally don't think they have any self-control.
She said it's no self-control, but you don't have any self-control when it comes to you looking for quality. You have these high standards, and if these guys don't meet your standard, you disqualify them. But the thing is, all of you ladies can actually find a man that won't cheat on you at all. He will look at you as everything. But guess what? Those men, they're transparent. You don't even see those men. Those guys work at Chipotle. Some of them are in your DMs. They're average guys, but you don't want those guys. You actually want the men that can cheat, not that would cheat, but that can cheat. So you are actually choosing your fate because you are choosing guys that most women want that are very attractive. But guess what? You can choose Joe from Shake Shack. He'll be loyal to you. You can choose the guy that's sending you multiple DMs. Hey, beautiful, can I take you out on a date? Hey, honey, can I take you out on a date? Or you can choose the guys in your friend zone. Those guys been in your friend zone for 5 years, loved you, probably had a crush on you in 6th grade, but you don't choose those guys. You don't want those guys. You actually look at them as losers. You only choose the guys that can cheat. So guess what? You pick your demise. You pick being cheated on.
You become what you think about. You become what you think about. And since the only thing that you can control is your thinking, if you change what you are thinking about, you will begin to change your reality. If you change what you expect, you change what you believe, you change your dominant thoughts, you change your inner workings, you begin to attract into your life people, circumstances, events, opportunities, everything consistent with your new thoughts. The reason people are unsuccessful is they think thoughts of unsuccess or failure. Gordon says that all causation is mental. We live in a mental universe. All causation is mental. If you wish to change your universe, you have to change your mentality. If you change your thinking, and you change your life. Change your thinking, and you change your life.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are you looking to gain with this podcast? What's the purpose?
One, the main goal and the purpose of the show, if we can make a distinction, right, between good and bad, if we can make a distinction between men and women, it would get people closer to the truth because God made the world off of distinctions. You got dark, you got light. You got bad, you got good. You got right, you got wrong. You got truth, you got lies. You got men, you got women. And currently right now in 2025, these distinctions are being diluted and conflated and twisted and inverted, where men now don't know their duties. They're more effeminate. Women are more masculine, more non-compliant. They think that they're equal to a man. So we no longer have these distinctions. And if you don't have a distinction, you think people are the same, it creates chaos and destruction. So this podcast is to wake people up to the differences of men and women. And actually, by pointing it out, is to get people closer to God because God created these distinctions.
Yeah. Look at this.
Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on improving in every area of life and understand that life is a marathon and not a sprint. Find allies. Find people that are aligned with mission, vision, and values of what you want to see the world be. Work with them over an extended period of time and understand that money, success is a lagging indicator. Eventually, if you plant enough seeds, if you plant enough goodwill, and if you build, you will get rewarded.
Try to pick it up. The chair you were sitting in, try to pick it up.
Pick it up.
I said, try to pick it up. Now you're not picking it up.
I have been trying. I've been following through.
Try to pick up the chair, please. I'm asking you honestly. Try to.
I did.
No, you picked it up.
Oh.
Try to pick it up. What's that? Now you're not picking it up. I said, try to pick it up.
This has nothing to do with what I've been doing.
Really? Do it again. Let's see. Who sees that this is exactly what she's been doing? What you did just now is what you've been doing with your husband. You don't do it, and you don't not do it. I know because of what you told me. You told me you tried. I know what try is in the human nervous system. It's a justification to try to justify that we really did do our part. And we didn't fail because we didn't do what was necessary or were fearful. It's because the thing just didn't come together. And you're not committed to connecting with your husband. You're committed to being right.
Some people know how to live better than others with or without money. They just sought out and picked a better person to share their time with. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you sleep in a one-bedroom apartment, you may be richer than a rich guy. You see what I'm saying? Your life, the fabric of your life and what you're doing and how you feel about yourself at the moment.
Man, the Father be speaking to me, man. I'm about to get my food, but no fairy tales. So I was just sitting here thinking, man. And everybody loves to talk about the Pharisees, including me. Like, we say stuff that they were blind, they rejected the Messiah, how much they loved religion. That's cool, right? That's cool. Now, here's the uncomfortable question, though. What if we're more like them than we think? Let's stop with the fairy tales, man, because y'all should know that the Pharisees, they weren't atheists. You understand? They believed in scripture. They prayed. They fasted, right? They taught. Real talk. They wore the right garments, y'all. You understand? They quoted the right verses, right? They knew the traditions, and they did it well according to scripture. But yet, when the Messiah stood right in front of them, most of them couldn't even recognize him. Think about that for a minute. Think about it. The people who knew the most scripture missed the one the scriptures were talking about. How? That's crazy work. Because somewhere, right, their system became more important than the voice of Yahuah. Right? Now, before we, including me, before we point fingers at the Pharisees, we got to look at us. Right? And I'm talking Christians, Hebrews, Messianics, right? Catholics and freaking Muslims. Heck, man. Everybody. Like, we all say this. If I had lived back then, I would have followed the Messiah. Really? How y'all know that? How you know? You can't even do it now. The people who rejected him said they loved the Messiah too. They said they loved truth, right? The people who challenged him quoted scripture too, right? And the people who wanted him silenced thought they were defending truth as well. And that's the pattern. You understand? See, religious systems, they have a way of making us believe that we're too right to be corrected. And that's dangerous, yo. And I'm speaking to all of us, including me, because the Pharisees didn't wake up one morning and decide, hey, let's reject the Messiah today. No, that's not what happened, right? The thing is, they convinced themselves, right? They convinced themselves that they were protecting truth. And that's what makes the story extremely terrifying. Because it's not that they hated truth. I'm not going to do them like that, y'all. It ain't because they hated truth. It's because they thought they already had all of it. And look around today. Look around today. How many people refuse to examine anything outside their denomination? How many people stop listening the moment a verse challenges what they've always believed? Y'all see it on YouTube every day. How many people defend traditions before they even defend the text? Y'all see that? The pattern didn't die with the Pharisees. The pattern actually lives anywhere and everywhere. Because where pride becomes greater than truth, the question isn't, am I a Pharisee? The question actually, man, for me is, would I recognize the Messiah? Right? Would I recognize the Messiah? Or would I defend my religious system against him? Because y'all gotta remember, man, this is gonna hit. Y'all gotta remember, the Messiah didn't receive his greatest opposition from Rome. He received it from the religious establishments, his people. Think about that. Think about that, y'all. The very people waiting for him were the very people who challenged them. Not because they lack scripture. That's not why. It's because they refuse to let scripture correct them. And that's the danger for every one of us, y'all, including me, including y'all. Real talk, man. So before we start criticizing the Pharisees, we got to ask ourselves one question. If the Messiah challenged something I believe today, would I humble myself before the text, right? Or would I defend my tradition, right? Because history has a way of repeating itself. Y'all know this. Not through the same people, right? But through the same patterns. We understand? No fairy tales, man. No freaking fairy tales. Don't just study the Pharisees. You understand? Just make sure you're not becoming one. Y'all have a blessed rest of y'all day. Shalom.